Are you truckin' too? Race fans, you are tuned in to Gravity Throttle Racing, and my name is Aaron Tate. We're very happy to have you here. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Richard Gere.
Race fans, can you believe we are now into Group 6 of 7 in our group racing? This is exciting stuff for everyone involved, and especially for the drivers and the builders. The teams are represented well, and we're very happy to have them here. We have a driver from California and another one all the way from Luxembourg, out here at Shavano Mountain Raceway.
Fans, we'd love to have you here in person. This is one gorgeous area, and let me introduce you to the drivers all the way from Luxembourg. The Neckel Racing team is, I'm going to call him Scotty.
It's Scotty.
Driving the 1991 GMC, he's number 16. Next to him is Misty G from Puffs Racing, driving that number 29 Mazda Repu.
Bless you.
Repu.
Bless you.
Not sneezing. And now, the number 24 seed from Golden Owl Racing is the Gray Wizard, driving that Subaru Brat, the number 77 Subaru Brat. Finally, on the outside, the number 5 seed from Dubious Diecast is Mr. Dark, driving a Toyota Baja truck. Race fans, these are 4 gorgeous trucks. They're excited. They've been waiting a while to be on the track. Are you trucking too?
Race fans, here on the inside closest to us is Scotty. Next to him is Misty G. Then we've got the Gray Wizard, and on the outside is Mr. Dark. A great start by all, and Mr. Dark has an edge. And there goes Misty, scooting out in the lead. She's got the lead down in the Joker lane. What a nice drift by both, but Mr. Dark has flipped on his side, and it looks like the Gray Wizard has managed to continue. Yes, here he goes, over the bridge, but he's well behind as the other drivers. Boy, what a tight competition, but Scotty is not able to keep up with Misty G, and now she is on the scrambler, and flipping over once and twice and through for first. Scotty in second. Here comes the Gray Wizard, and he is stalled his engine. Oh my goodness.
And let's go back here to instant replay. Watch, ladies and gentlemen, very carefully as Mr. Dark gets that trampoline bounce effect, hitting the barrier just after the Gray Wizard. And he is on his side and out for this first round. It's a close race down the runway. Both drivers are looking so fast. And here comes the Gray Wizard. Now, he was unable to finish. But for Misty G, she wrestles her pickup in and takes first place. And after the first round of racing, leads in the score. Let's go to race 2.
And you know, Aaron, after all that excitement, there were only 2 drivers that finished. This is now round number 2 with Mr. Dark. Here on the inside, he's our top seed. Scotty is next to him. There goes Misty G, and on the outside is the Gray Wizard. Now there, Scotty is pulling on ahead as Mr. Dark slides on his side, and Misty is getting tangled up a little bit, and the Gray Wizard is pushing her. She was looking good, but has flipped over the bridge, and now it's Scotty in the lead, and the Gray Wizard is following behind on the runway. Once again, 2 of the drivers are out with unfortunate accidents. Here comes, oh my goodness, and now it's Scotty that is out, and it's, oh boy, wow. What a hit.
We should give extra points like they do in Junkyard Joust for that kind of hit. Race fans, as you look here at instant replay, watch Mr. Dark. He's getting passed by Scotty.
It's Scotty.
And I know. And I think that pressure got to him as he slides on his side, but check out what Mr. Gray Wizard does with a drift worthy of a fire.
And that could mean 2 extra points.
Now Misty gets tangled up and the Gray Wizard just bulldozes his way through, expecting to finish as he now is on the board with 3 points. And our leader is Scotty with 4.
It's Scotty.
Schotty. Scotty.
Aaron, if I used your logic, then school would be pronounced school.
Hey, that sounds cool.
No, it sounds stupid, and you're making me angry. Speaking of angry, Mr. Dark is now in the lead, and you've got to believe he is feeling that anger because 2 DNFs, 2 races in. Now he's got the lead, and right behind him, pressing him hard, is the Gray Wizard. Take a look at Scotty and Misty in the background, but where is the Gray Wizard? And Mr. Dark has the lead as he's cruising down. Here he goes, sliding around and through the finish. He will take first.
Oh, check out that time.
And it's Scotty in second and Misty G in third.
And race fans, as we go back to instant replay, it was a wonderful run by Mr. Dark, but take a look at the Gray Wizard as he slides while he makes his way through the tunnel and gets stuck up there at that sharp right-hand turn. Now, Mr. Dark leads around the Big U. The others are following. All the drivers do a nice job making their way down the scrambler, not tipping over, and running through first, second, and third. Mr. Dark is now on the board, but it is
Scotty.
But it is
Scotty.
Richard, I've got to say it. Scotty.
Oh, brother.
with 10 points.
All right, well, race fans, this is the race before halftime, and what a nice start by Mr. Dark and the Gray Wizard, as it looks like Misty is falling behind, and Mr. Dark is tipped over on the right-hand turn in the snow, and wonderful drifting. Look at Scotty go, making his way over the bridge, and I believe he's got a good lead, a sizable lead now. There comes the Gray Wizard down the runway, but Scotty has a comfortable lead. Around the big U he goes. This has been consistent racing for Scotty, from Luxembourg taking first place. He has finished all 4 of the first races. And here comes the Gray Wizard. Good job finishing on his part, taking second.
And race fans, as we go back here to instant replay, it just happens sometimes. The truck drivers make their way over, and in Misty's case, the truck just went sideways. Mr. Dark has been pushing it really hard and finding himself this time rolling over in the snow up top. That's too bad on his part. Only finishing 1 of the first 4 races. I hope he can catch back up. You can see here the Gray Wizard just taking his time, hoping to make it down the scrambler. Now, as we approach halftime, Scotty has 14 points and has the lead. The others are really in a battle for second.
Race fans, here we are, the GTR halftime show, and I'm actually excited about this.
The man is barely alive, but we can rebuild him. With new bionic arms and bionic butt cheeks, he never leaves his quad. It's Steve Ostentatious.
Steve Ostentatious bets that he can beat the track record that is held by James Ironbeard. He steers the car from behind with his bionic arms and holds onto that quad with his bionic butt cheeks. Oh, that wasn't very good, but look at him correct that car in a matter of an instant.
Steve Ostentatious has the strength. I don't know how much he can lift, but he's pretty strong.
Probably ought to fact check first.
And we all know that when he has to pass gas,
Aaron,
it's like a nuclear explosion.
No.
Well, sorry. I guess we're not supposed to talk about that part.
His time is, 2 seconds off of the record. James still has the track record, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure Steve Ostentatious will be back. Now we have the second half of the racing competition. On the outside lane, Mr. Dark and the Gray Wizard have a chance for extra points, crossing ahead of the white boxcar. It looks like Misty is doing wonderful. She's going down the Joker lane in lead, and quite a battle is taking place. Here comes the Gray Wizard, Mr. Dark, 1 point for each of them only. And Misty has the lead, heading on the runway. Look at her go. Mr. Dark has passed and now has second place. Misty and Mr. Dark are fighting, and Misty has flipped over. Mr. Dark is spinning around and coming through the finish. And nobody else has finished. Oh my goodness, Mr. Dark is the only one.
And race fans, once again, let's go to instant replay. Take a look at the Gray Wizard just handing the punches to Mr. Dark, and Mr. Dark fighting back. Both of them make it while the train is going. That is 1 extra point. That's good. But Misty just screams down the runway, and it is Shoddy that finds himself stuck on the runway. The other 2 have crashed on the scrambler, and Mr. Dark takes full advantage, pulling himself up into second place now after 5 rounds of racing.
It's going to be very interesting to see how things fall out. For all of the competitors, there doesn't seem to be much consistency among any of them. Mr. Dark here's on the inside lane, and Scotty's next to him. Mr. Dark has a great start, but there goes Misty once again, pulling out in the lead, and oh my goodness! And there's quite a tangle up on the Joker lane. Misty finds herself with a very good lead, has 2 extra points, and I'm not sure if the Gray Wizard made it in time. Past the white boxcar, there goes Misty, screaming down the runway, and there's the Gray Wizard in the background, and Misty turns herself around and comes through nicely. First place for her, and here comes the Gray Wizard in second place.
Let's take a look back at the accident. There's a discussion, and Scotty and that's not Mr. Dark.
No, that's his hitman.
Oh, wow. Well, we better get Officer Chuck Norris over there as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the judges are looking at the replay, and watch carefully as there is separation between Shoddy and Mr. Dark when Shoddy tips over. Now, in this angle, it doesn't appear that way, but we're happy to say that, and there, Officer Norris is explaining to the 2 that the accidents were apart from each other. The race continues, and the Gray Wizard doesn't quite make it past the white boxcar before it crosses under him. And so now, after 6 rounds of racing, Shoddy has the lead with 14, and it is Misty that has pulled herself up into second place. 2 races left, and really it's anybody's.
It is crazy, race fans, how after 6 rounds of racing, it's anybody's race. Here we go. On the outside is Misty, who has the lead, and right there is Scotty. And Misty is tipped over on her side, and it is Scotty hitting the barrier hard, but A good drift, and it seems to have the lead over the train with 2 points. That's very good on his part. And now here comes Mr. Dark, unable to catch up to Scotty yet, and we do not see the Gray Wizard. Onto the scrambler they go. Scotty's looking good, but Mr. Dark is flipped over, and Mr. Dark will not be finishing the race.
That is heartbreaking for sure for Mr. Dark. Let's begin up atop here as Misty just kind of catches some air and finds herself tipping over on the berm of snow. And now keep your eyes on the Gray Wizard as he slides into the tunnel. And that was the end of his race. And now Mr. Dark gets on the scrambler, and wasn't long after he is sliding down on his hood. Only one finisher in this race puts Scotty well ahead of the others. We have a race 8, but we know that Shoddy is moving on. The rest of them, it's still up in the air.
Race fans, all eyes are now on the closest 3 lanes. Mr. Dark will have the advantage of jumping the train. Oh, it's a slow start by Misty, and Mr. Dark has the lead, and Scotty is tipped over. Mr. Dark has slid on his side, and now he is out. Here comes Misty, and Misty is ahead of the Gray Wizard. The Gray Wizard must recapture the lead, and Misty is stretching the lead down runway 3. She goes around the big U. How quick she is moving. Really flying along down the scrambler. Oh my goodness, look at that time, ladies and gentlemen. That is a record-setting time, and here comes the Gray Wizard.
Congratulations, Misty. When you needed it the most, you came through and now occupy the 3rd fastest time on the track, overtaking Taken Chance. Race fans, take a look here at Instant Replay after a slow start, and this is at real speed. Misty really cruises through the snow and is quickly catching up to the Gray Wizard. The others are out, and she slingshots her way around through the Joker lane, taking advantage, and in through the tunnel. She is going so fast, the Gray Wizard is unable to keep up with her. Only the cameraman can, and she slides around the big U with wonderful precision down the scrambler. Here comes the Gray Wizard. Kudos to him for finishing the race. And as we tally up the scores for the 8 rounds of racing, Shoddy has the lead with 20. He's going to take the win. Misty is now with 16. Let's take a look at the best performing drift. And the obvious choice and the only choice for a great drift was the Gray Wizard. Unfortunately for him, that's only 2 more points. And our winners moving on will be Shoddy and Misty G.
Before you tune out, race fans, take a look at these wonderful truck builds. Our builders worked so hard to craft their skills and make these trucks look beautiful.
The artistry just speaks for itself.
You know, Aaron, I think we should just do a show. These vehicles are just a blur on the screen as they're racing, but they are so beautiful. And race fans, don't forget, we won't forget, our winners today, Scotty and Misty G, will be moving on.
Are you truckin' too?